Yesterday, I had issues with my mic. Hopefully it doesn't happen this time. I haven't tested it, so if it happens again, I'm going to be so upset. But I want to just... Basically what happened, my mic just cut off during my live reaction. Well, quote-unquote live. But it just cut off. It just stopped working. No audio was coming out of my mic. I don't know what was going on. But I basically was not able to upload that because half of the reaction was just me with no mic on. So that doesn't work. So therefore, I'm just basically going to scroll through this video. This one should be relatively short in comparison to other videos. We're going to scroll through the videos and we're going to look at every single card that's here. I've already read them because yesterday with the mic issues. But we're going to scroll on through this video and talk about the Volclipse strategy with the lunar phase archetype, quote-unquote archetype, because, well, it is an archetype, technically speaking. It's a specific way to play lunar, which is something I'm very happy for, that we are getting these specific ways to play a deck that are not just basically element toolbox, essentially. So this is Voldusk, a 1/5 1-cost lunar with the effect of when you cast Lunar Phase, you can draw a card or return 1 lunar from your Underworld to your Spirit deck, and this effect can be activated twice each turn. This card is ridiculous. So for anyone who has not seen this video, A-Drive says in the very beginning that there are actually 8 total lunar phases going to be coming out in Moonrise. He reveals one of them in this video, and there was one also revealed on the Clash trailer. We have Lunar Phase Full Moon and Lunar Phase New Moon. New Moon was the one that he reveals in this video. Full Moon was revealed in the trailer. We'll get into what both of those do in just a quick moment. But this card's absolutely insane. Not only is it a 5 defense body, which is already very freaking good, whenever you cast any Lunar Phase, you get to just draw a card or heal 1. Now, I'm not entirely certain what the cost of all the lunar phases are going to be. I assume they're all going to be 1, maybe 2 lunar. But for the 2 that have so far been revealed, they've both just been 1 lunar. Therefore, what this basically tells me, twice per turn, your lunar phases are free. That's basically what it says to me, which is unbelievable. Or if you don't want to make them free, you can just alternatively draw a card. This card can essentially just be Nectar of the Gods in this deck. This is unbelievable. This card is so good, and I'm expecting this to be a very well sought after card in the metagame during Moonrise. We move on though. Also, I'm very shocked this is only a common, like really common for this card. That's insane. We move on though. We have a brand new card, and that is, if I can pull up the whole thing, Lunar Phase New Moon. First of all, Simone Frigerio. This is beautiful art. I'm not gonna lie, this is crazy good art. I freaking love it. It's insane. As we've been seeing, the art's been getting better. Here's another instance of the art just getting so much better. It's really freaking good. 1-cost Invoke Rune, 1 lunar that just says target an Elestral on the field, suppress it until the end phase, and also you can expend lunar equal to the targeted card's enchantment cost and discard a lunar phase. And if you do, destroy it. This is insane. This is basically the brand new version of Earthquake. This is this deck's specific version of Earthquake. Now, I do want to mention that this card is not the same as Earthquake because it could potentially cost more, and you have to specifically discard a lunar phase in order to activate the effect. That being said, not in order to activate the effect, in order to destroy the targeted card. That being said, this is very good. This is a deck that is going to rely heavily on the lunar phases. You can play upwards of 24 lunar phases because there are 8 of them. You can play 3 of them each in a deck. So you're basically guaranteed to have a lunar phase in your hand. So if you have a lunar phase in your hand and you go New Moon, you can suppress it and then destroy it just by discarding that 1 lunar phase. And I will also point out the lunar phases that we've seen thus far, which are New Moon and Full Moon. Full Moon likes being discarded. Full Moon, hopefully I can actually show it on screen. If not, I can just tell you guys it right here. It is a 1-cost counter rune, 1-cost lunar counter rune that specifically says enchant 2 lunar to your field, and if it's discarded by a lunar phase, foretell 3, which is very good. Now, the only thing I do want to mention about the foretell thing it doesn't allow you to draw a card or anything like that. It's just you foretell 3. You see what's coming up and you place them on top of your deck in whatever order you want. But that's honestly not that bad. If I'm being entirely honest, that's actually not terrible. So this card's also very, very good. New Moon's crazy. Full Moon has the potential to be crazy depending on some of the other cards. Those are the only 2 lunar phases we have. Supposedly today, today as I'm recording this video, I'm getting the video 1 day early, so I should be able to get the new lunar phases for you guys tomorrow. We'll see, but it's looking very, very interesting. So this card's very, very interesting, and I think Full Moon's also very interesting. And Full Moon's actually very important because the Ascension of the Voldusk is actually a card right here by the name of Volumbra. So Volumbra, weirdly enough, I think it's actually worse than the Voldusk, but we'll get into it. It's not bad because it is necessary. A 5/7 2-cost Lunar. When you discard a lunar phase during your main phase, you can special ascend your Voldusk to this Volumbra from your hand. And when you cast the lunar phase Full Moon, you can special ascend this Volumbra to Volclipse from your deck. So this is honestly very good. If you have Voldusk on board, so if you have your opening hand of Voldusk and Volumbra, if you have both of them in your opener, and you're going second because your opponent has to have a Elestral on board, you go Voldusk, search New Moon, target their Elestral, destroy it, and discard a lunar phase. Volumbra effect to ascend over the Voldusk because you discarded a lunar phase to activate the effect. And then not only do you have a 5/7, they have no Elestral on board. You can go Full Moon if you have Full Moon as well. Activate it during your opponent's turn because it's a counter rune. Special ascend into a Volclipse. Very crazy. Volclipse is the big payoff for this. This card is a 6/12 3-cost Lunar. It gets +1 attack for each different title among lunar phase in your underworld, and you can shuffle 8 lunar phase with different titles from your underworld into your deck in order to return an opponent's field to their hand. Now that last sentence is worded a little weirdly. The way this card works is shuffle 8 different lunar phases from your underworld into your deck, return each card on your opponent's field to the hand. So, a couple things I want to mention. First things first, this is a big beater. It's not bad. It's just a big beater that can actually get massive because not only can it get massive due to its effect, it can also just get it can deal massive damage if you pair the Volumbra with the Full Moon, because Full Moon, as we already talked about, says enchant 2. So if you enchant to the Volumbra, special ascend, you're going to special ascend it into a Volclipse, which then is going to have 1 additional lunar. So you're going to have 5 lunar on it. You activate the effect of the Volclipse, assuming you can, return every single card in your opponent's field to the hand, hit for 5. So honestly, not bad. I will say, I think this card actually can be a little bit better in defense, because after you activate that effect, granted you're returning every single card in your opponent's field to the hand, so they're not going to be able to ascend into everything, but ascend into anything, but it is still a 12 defense body. You can pair this with a ton of stuff though. Not only can you use its own effect to get its attack up massive, if you pair this with something like the Temple of the Moon, alongside the effect that the combo I talked about with the Volumbra with the Full Moon enchant 2, this card alone with no lunar phases, well actually you're guaranteed to have 1 because of the Full Moon. That's going to be 6. That's going to be a +6 attack. That's with 1 lunar phase in your underworld. As long as you have Temple of the Moon, which we already know about because that got teased, it got revealed. Well, it didn't get revealed. It got leaked. It got teased in the trailer. We know what that is. It's just a stadium room for Luna. This can get you up massive. Yesterday, when I was trying to record this. Let me actually double check. Make sure. Okay, the mic is still working. The mic is still working. God, I need to get this video out. I actually said this card wasn't very good. It was one of the worst cards in the archetype. It was necessary to play the archetype, but I thought it was the worst card in the archetype. Reason being is that it didn't do anything else other than basically be a big beater. Its second effect I thought was way too hard to activate, and to be fair, I still think that. A-Drive says it's not as crazy as it sounds. We don't know. Hopefully we get some new lunar phases today. I'm not sure what that reveal is. But we'll see. Well, I say today, you guys tomorrow. But Hopefully we can see some really cool stuff. I think this deck is super cool. I think that's all we saw. That is in fact all we saw. So that's it for the cards that we talked about here. I think this is a super cool deck. I think it's a really neat way to play Lunar, and I think it's really cool that we are getting a Lunar phase archetype. I'm really excited for that. I want to make sure that this video gets out before my mic goes bad. So guys, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you slap the like button and subscribe for more. Hope to see all you guys in the next video. Goodbye.